Peace and blessings. This is the living legend, Quinn Ryan Foster, one of the greatest all-time winningest wrestlers from the Washington, D.C. area. I just went back, got on the mats for the first time in maybe 20 years over at Gonzaga High School here in Washington, D.C., under the great coach, coach of the year, Milton Yates, under the great coach, great former wrestler, Wade Hughes. And I went and I asked these young guys, I just had one question for them. You can see my voice is a little timid from raising my voice a little bit. But I had to ask these guys a question. And the question was, how bad do you want it? See, wrestling is a sport it's one-on-one, man to man. Today, woman to woman. But it's one-on-one. There's nobody to pass the ball to. There's nobody to take a seat. Nobody give you a block. There's nobody out there with you. It's one-on-one. Me versus you. See, wrestlers, we don't play games. Basketball players have games on Friday nights or Saturday nights, and football players have games on Friday nights. We have matches. See, we want to match our ability against another person's ability and see who comes out the winner. How bad do you want it? This Sunday morning, we up early, 8 o'clock, getting it in, wrestling live, learning new skills. What's your competition doing, though? That's the question. What are they doing? See, we're almost at tournament time. It's tournament season coming up. How bad do you want it? Your opponent, they might be running 3 or 4 miles. They might be up at 6 o'clock. They might be up 5 o'clock in the morning watching videotape. Are you thinking about that championship in a few weeks? How bad do you want it? Have you seen it in your mind? You standing on the top of the podium with that first place trophy in your hand? How bad do you want it? See, this is a sport. You got to want it bad. This is a hard sport, a difficult sport. This is a sport for the toughest of the tough. I went to Arizona State University. I was there with some of the best football players to come out of the country. One like Terrell Suggs played for the Baltimore Ravens. A lot of these guys will tell you, man, I ain't wrestling though. That shit too hard. These men is 6'7", 300 pounds. I ain't doing that wrestling. That's too damn hard. Many of them will tell you, this is one of the hardest sports known to man. So how bad do you want it? Are you going to stand on top of that podium? Or are you going to be one of those wrestlers on the second day of the tournament, you watching from the stands? You one of those? On the second day, you already took 2 losses. You sitting out there watching the rest of your teammates. See, that's what my team used to do. Second day, all of them out. But they watching me perform. Get that W. Because I was hungry. I wanted it bad. When I woke up in the morning, I was thinking about championships. When I went to sleep at night, I was thinking about championships. I was thinking about that trophy in my hand. I was thinking about whooping the hell out of my opponent. Whoever got on the mat with me, they was getting their ass whooped. Period. Because I wanted it. I was hungry for it. I was starving for it. I needed it. I wanted it. I could see it. I could taste it. I could hear it. I could feel it. If you don't want it like that, don't step on that mat. Because you step on a mat with somebody that want it bad, you their enemy. You are their enemy. If you step on the mat with me, you are my enemy. You are trying to take away from me my wins. My name in multiple record books. Undefeated for one season. I'm not bragging or boasting. I'm just telling you the truth because I wanted it. I wanted to be undefeated. And if you stepped on that mat with me, that means you was trying to give me a loss. Shit. I wasn't having that. My brother told my wife, he said, man, Quinn was mean when he wrestled. He said, he wrestled too. He was a national champion. He said, when I broke somebody's bone, I would feel bad. He said, Quinn, he didn't feel bad. Why should I feel bad? Shit, you stepped on the mat with me. You stepped on my mat. That should be the attitude when you get on the mat. This is my mat. The hell you doing on my mat? You trying to take something from me? You a thief. You a thief. You coming after my win, and I ain't having that. Period. But the fact is, I paid my dues. I wrestled hard in practice. I wrestled hard after practice. I wrestled hard before practice. I worked hard in the weight room. I worked hard, man. I paid my dues. So when it's 5-5 in the third period, in the quarterfinals, in the semifinals, did you pay your dues? Do you want it bad? Or does a guy across the way want it worse than you? How bad do you want it? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice? How bad do you want it? Can you see it? Can you taste it? Can you touch it? Do you have goals every day to move you towards your victory? How many days until the national championships? How many days until the conference championship? How many days until the regional championships? How many days? How many hours? How many practices do you have left? So you got to want it bad, man. You got to be hungry. You got to be hungry for it. You got to taste it, man. You got to see it in your mind and draw that victory closer and closer and closer and closer to you until you get it, until you taste it, until you touch it. I'm a living legend. And that's not bragging or boasting shit. That's facts, B. Google my name, Quinn Ryan Foster Wrestling. Google it, Quinn Foster Wrestling. You're going to come back with some information. And then Google your name and see what come back. Google your name and put wrestling next to it. See what come back. See, I'm in the history books. I paid my dues. Now, are you willing to pay yours? How bad do you want it? I wanted it bad. And therefore, I'm in the history books. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it?